This is a very unique episode. It was recorded in person, but so were our first two episodes. This one is unique because it was recorded in a place that isn't our home. It was recorded while Mihir and I were traveling in Kodaikanal with two of our other friends. It's actually the first episode we ever recorded, so it's a little different and ramblier than usual. We also had an audience member because one of our friends was sitting next to us while we were recording. It was a little incomplete because we ran out of battery midway and we didn't even realize for a long time. So, yeah, these are the early days of our podcasting. So, I will cut in from time to time to give updates. So, let's go back to the summer of 2019 when the world was a different place. Okay, so we're recording. This is our first podcast. This is a podcast called A Bit of Both. And today is our special episode coming right from Kodaikanal in Tamil Nadu. I am Pradyumna or Prado as you call me. And
I am here. So, yeah, let's get started.
cool. Cue the intro music. Okay, so we're back from intro, and today we're just gonna talk about our experience in Kodaikanal so far. So today is Wednesday, and we came to Kodaikanal on Monday, and so it's our third day today, but not really. Yeah. So let's start with how we left, how we planned this. Maybe we should start with that.
Yeah, I think this deserves a good backstory.
Okay. So a while back, so let's recap to about a year ago. Last March, me and a few of my friends went to after our exams. Yeah, after our exams, we went to Goa. We went to Palolem, which was quite a nice experience. We were done with our exams.
Yeah.
So it was like that was like one thing that we decided on, that me and some of my college friends will go out for vacations for like a few days every semester after every semester ended. So we finished our first sem. We went to Goa. Then the next semester after that, we went to Gokarna. So it was a little further
Quite
away.
ambitious.
Wasn't very ambitious. Some background on that. Me and Mihir actually had planned to go to Gokarna a while back.
And that has not happened till date.
Yes, that plan had to get cancelled because one of our friends got sick, and we were feeling very Three Musketeer like. So, and there were four of us, so that's appropriate. And
Very.
doesn't one of them die? Okay, anyway.
Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think one of them dies.
Okay.
But anyway.
So yeah, so we went. So then I went to Gokarna, and then so when this semester started to end, me and my friends started getting together. Like, let's plan something. Let's go to some place. Oh, it's okay. Carry on. And we must say we're in the hostel itself. We're in the common room, so we can't be too loud, and there might be some noise from here and there. We also have one of our friends, Simran here, and she's like a veteran podcaster. She has 3 episodes under her belt, so she's sort of supervising our talk. And anyway, so I started making a plan, and like one of the plans was, so there were a lot of options. There was Udaipur, which I might not have told you about, so which was Udaipur. There was another plan to go to Mysore and Ooty, and
I didn't know this.
yeah,
I didn't know
there
that.
were a lot of plans. We basically
Okay.
just saw wherever there were good backpacker hostels, and we thought we'd go there.
Makes sense.
Chikmagalur was also in the race, and so we came up to hostel Kodaikanal, and we saw pictures, and we were like, okay, this is where we're going regardless of anything else. So we decided, and then I asked Mihir, because Mihir is a little busy. So Mihir, would you like to say what is going to happen in a few months?
Well, so yeah. So he showed me the photos from this hostel, And I think there really wasn't any decision to be made because the pictures are simply gorgeous. And right now I'm sitting in the very common room that I saw online, and it is unbelievable. It is as pretty as the photos. I don't think that happens very often, but it has, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah, we'll have the link in the description. So you can
Show
check it out
notes.
yourself. I hope Zostel gives us some discount based on our promotion to our uh, to our 5 listeners. I'm guessing. Okay, too ambitious. Let's
Sure.
see. There's two for sure.
Two
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
listen when I'm editing.
I am not sure about my end, but
Okay. Okay.
I think Simran will listen, so that makes 2.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway,
So we're gonna go. So where were we?
so basically,
Yeah. So we found the
Prado,
pictures.
you convinced me
Yeah,
that-
I convinced Mihir. Mihir also found some time from his busy schedule. He has exams happening. He has like other events happening, and it's all just like his graduation is
Yeah.
quite a little.
Basically I'm graduating, and on the way out, people are ensuring that I have a lot of work.
Yeah, so he was quite busy. So we decided that we should. We basically found some common time, and then I think Mihir's college is happening right now, and he's bunking college.
I am.
Okay.
And if you're from my college, please don't tell the teachers. But anyway,
Even if they do, I don't think it'll matter.
who knows?
Yeah.
Let's not go down that road.
Anyway, I think we're getting too far ahead of ourselves.
So-
yeah.
So the plan was decided based on our common time, and I think basically that's it. Here we are.
Here we are. We got on a train. We booked the trains. There was a lot of hassle with the trains. We wanted to make sure that we didn't that we had ample time to spend here. So we had to space it out in a way. So like our entire trip from Pune. So we're from Pune. It's not like you would not know, but so from Pune to Pune, this trip would be 6 days. Or does that count as 7? From Sunday to Saturday.
Yeah,
so
it's 7 days.
Yeah, so it was gonna be a fairly big one. Train, I was a little apprehensive because my only previous experience of a long train, I think our shared experience of a long train was from Pune to Delhi.
In
That was
2013.
In 2013, that was during we went for a trek in the Himalayas to Harkidun, and
That was also beautiful. So check out Harkidun, but
yeah, that's
that's
a story for
different
another time.
that is a story. For
That is
another-
a story for another time. So that was Harkidun. So like that experience had been quite like it was a learning experience, I think, because it was around 2 days of journey. In this was also like end of May, so it was very hot on the way, and it was like a regular sleeper train. So it was extremely hot,
Which
and we used
in
to.
simple English means no AC, no fans, and the windows are open the whole time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people crammed in also. I remember there were these 2-3 people who were just sitting on a train also, no? On our benches.
Yeah, and at night I remember sleeping, and at the foot of my bench or bed or whatever, there was this guy sitting,
Yeah.
and I think I must have kicked him in my sleep a few times because of the train's motion.
There's
I
also
don't
one person sleeping in the area between the two facing benches, which was like it was really like it was like tuna in a can. Tuna? No.
Sardines.
Sardines in a can. Tuna comes minced. Anyway,
I should know that.
I think we should stay away from references that we don't understand. But this will keep happening anyway. So yeah, so but this time we found trains, and the AC rates were also quite reasonable for
Yeah.
a long journey.
Fortunately, we were able to find trains that we could directly book without being on a waiting list, which was
Correct.
a big priority for us.
Yeah. One of our
So-
friends who's on our trip with us, Chris, she helped. She found some life hack, which we will keep to ourselves for now because we don't want everybody crowding that and like not being on the waiting list and getting ahead of the line. So anyway, we found that hack, and then we got on the train. and we came to Kodai Road.
Kodaikanal Road.
Yeah, so we left on Sunday afternoon at 3:50, and we reached Kodaikanal Road on Monday
Evening?
evening at around 8:30 ish.
8:30.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then we took a cab from there, and we took a cab to our hostel. So the Kodaikanal station is quite far from here, so it's like 80 kilometers from the actual city, which which was um, which was expected because we'd done a fair bit of research before, but it was not ideal. In any case, we found a cab. We came here, and we got here I think around 11 o'clock.
Sounds right.
It was quite late, and so on our way there was the ghats were like the roads were very nice. It's all hilly roads, so I'm sure you've heard of Kodaikanal Road, but of Kodaikanal, but if you haven't, it's a hill station in Tamil Nadu. It's near Madurai and Coimbatore, if you're planning to come. And so it's quite a nice place. It's up in the hills. It's surrounded by a lot of hills all around us. There's a nice view of the valley. As I speak, I'm looking out the window.
Basically, it's around 2,500 meters. That's roughly 7,500 feet for those people who prefer feet.
I think
And-
we will have to recheck those numbers.
Anyway.
We keep getting confused from time to time, but anyway.
So that's where we are. We reached around 11 in the night, and it's been a beautiful journey.
Yeah, so on our way here in the ghats, like I was sitting in the front. I don't have a problem with motion sickness or anything. Some of my friends do. They will remain nameless. And like the main point I'm trying to get at is the roads were very windy, but like the roads were actually very nice. They were all like silky smooth roads, and the driver was going a decent amount of speed.
Yeah, he was doing
But-
40. He was doing 40
He
on
was doing
hairpin
40s,
bends,
yeah.
which was pretty impressive.
But it never felt very unsafe. It never felt very dangerous.
Yeah, and I think that the credit goes to the road construction, I guess, because it's not that the turns aren't odd or sharp. They're pretty bad. I mean, the mountains. We go directly from the plains to roughly, let's say, 2,200 feet. So, and in a short amount of time, I mean, 80 kilometers isn't very long for you to ascend that height. So, the ghats are pretty bad. But the road construction is extremely well done, I have to say. And since we were coming late at night, there wasn't much traffic on the roads, and we were able to speed through. So, it was a pretty good journey. The skies are amazing over here, regardless of where you are.
There's like no light pollution. Like you can see, because also you're at such a high altitude. Like you just see, there's like no proper horizon. So you just have like a huge dome of just stars all over. It's like being in a planetarium.
It quite reminds me of Nainital. Like,
Okay, I've never been.
yeah, I went to Nainital when I was in ninth, I think. So I went with my family, but this place is a little similar because it's a town based on the hillside. And incidentally, in Nainital, I didn't stay actually in the city. So luckily for me, we found a place that was kind of away from the city. So at night, I was able to sit outside and stargaze, like, because the city was a little ways off, so the lights from the city didn't affect my view,
that's
which
nice.
was amazing. So even though there are a fair amount of lights here, and they do create a little bit of pollution on the horizon, I think this place is quite close in terms of stargazing to the Himalayas. I won't say everywhere, but it's pretty good.
Okay. So from there we got here. We had some food for us. We had dinner for us, luckily. We'd planned before. And then when we got here, we were just very tired from the
Yeah,
train.
we just ate and crashed.
Yeah, we just had our dinner and we crashed. And then the next morning, we were supposed to like take it a little easy. We were supposed to Okay, so there's a dog, a pet dog who's just sitting on a bed here, and he's taking a picture of it. We'll put that in the descriptions. Okay. So yeah, so we just had we were we just needed some rest. So next day we woke up. I woke up quite early that day. I think 6:30, almost 7ish, and then we all got ready. We went. This hostel is a little away from. It's like a half an hour, 20-minute walk from the actual city. So we had to walk all the way, and it's all in the hills. So you have to go up and down those hills, which can be a little bit of a task.
Yeah, this has been a pretty new learning point for me that distances in the hills are not the same as in the city I live in. Because, I mean, 4 kilometers for me, like, it's not a big deal in Pune.
Yeah, same.
But over here, just getting places has been a tremendous task. And I don't know why I'm surprised, because it's not as if I haven't been to the mountains before. I haven't lived in hills or whatever. But this is really surprising, and it feels like I've never paid attention to this fact. But it might be the winding nature of the roads. Just regardless, distances and time correlation has, I guess, doubled roughly. I'm
Could
not
also
sure.
be because we have no alternatives here. Like the taxis would cost 200 minimum, which we don't want to spend. So it's almost like we have no other alternative than to walk.
But even walking, like, I have walked in Pune quite a bit.
Yeah, like linear is fine. Like on a flat
So,
surface, it's okay.
Yeah,
But like in the hills, I think like whenever you've been to like Nainital or some other
that might
places,
make sense.
you would at least have the alternative of, oh, I can take a taxi and go someplace else, because it's
Yeah.
not like some extortionate rate.
That would make sense. But yeah, I mean, my feet are killing me, and I don't think we've walked more than 5 kilometers today.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
have
kind of
blisters.
sad.
I have blisters all over my feet.
Yep. So either be prepared to pay quite a bit if you want to come here, or just just in general build up your stamina so that you can walk a lot.
Correct.
So, I mean, but regardless, walking is.
And wear good shoes, please. I've been wearing Converse high tops.
And now who's
And they're not like completely perfect fitting. So like, and I was wearing like really thin socks. Like I'm just probably gonna edit this out. Anyway, wear good shoes. Continue.
Yeah. So Kodaikanal has been good. Day one, we didn't really have any plans, so we just woke up, took in the view, which was amazing, and we set out for the town center. We went to a place, had some traditional South Indian food, which was delicious, and then we just roamed around. We
The
found-
coffee there was also very good.
Yeah.
It was like proper strong filter coffee, and it wasn't very sweet like a lot of other places make it.
It lives up to its name that in South India you get decent coffee.
Okay, that's quite
That's a bold
big name.
statement to make.
That's a very big name also.
But I have had decent coffee in a bunch of places. So
Bangalore.
Bangalore has amazing coffee. I have had good coffee on the way to Bangalore as well.
Yeah, true.
Just some rest stop along the road.
I can attest to that.
But yeah, so
There's a couple of places in Pune also which have good filter coffee, and like I'm a huge fan of filter coffee. I'm not really. I think I can speak for the both of us. We're not really into Starbucks or Cafe Coffee Day or like those kinds of
not
coffees.
really. No.
Yeah. Filter
I
coffee
ha-
is great. I also like black coffee. I really like my coffee very strong, very caffeinated.
So yeah, day one was pretty much chilling in Kodaikanal city.
Yeah, we also went on a
We
boat
went
ride.
to-
We-
we found a lake nearby, so we headed down there. Turns out they have lake road, which is basically circumnavigating the lake and circumscribing the lake. A bit of both.
Circumference.
Whatever. And they had boats. I was expecting like kayaks and everything, but they have the regular pedal boats, which were nice. So we decided to go for a boat ride. A bit apprehensive about leaving my bags behind with the ticket guy,
Correct.
with all my camera and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But turned out well. here we are. And the boat ride was pretty nice. The lake is pretty
The lake is very
silent.
still, and like the weather, I must really compliment the weather here, like because I have been doing it for a long time, but like even when you're out in the sun during like at noon, you still have like very cool breezes, and I mean it's quite nice. It doesn't ever get excruciatingly hot, or you don't even like sweat too much.
Yeah, I think that's because so last week it rained a lot, right?
Oh yeah, that might have been
It
something.
rained a lot, so I think it's a cold front that's come in, and because of the cold front, I mean, the skies have been amazingly clear. Even right now, I can see a little bit of cirrus clouds, high altitude, but nothing specific really. And in general, the sun has been bright and the breeze has been cold, which is extremely good weather for people coming from Pune, where it has
Yeah.
been just terribly hot.
And it's cool, but it's not like what I would sort of have associated with coolness or like just cold weather is like a very dark, gloomy, gray kind of skies, and it's not like that. It's like bright blue skies, very deep, like royal blue
Yeah.
skies, and there's very few clouds. I think today I'm seeing more clouds than I did yesterday and day before.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
yesterday.
that might be another warm front moving in, maybe off the shores. But
A disclaimer, like Mihir is not actually like anything to do.
I have not
Yeah,
studied
he's not a
meteorology.
yeah, yeah.
However, I do understand how those things work, and
And we do try to look at meteor showers if that makes us any kind of experts.
oh, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it. Anyway, the weather is nice. We had a great boat ride, and we found graffiti saying "Long live the Lama, the Dalai Lama." So we realized that there's a Tibetan community. I did not know this. There's a Tibetan community here.
It's quite prominent. Actually, I found out the part where they have those written down, that
The wall,
lane,
yeah.
that entire area is called the Tibetan market, because all of those shops are owned by Tibetan people, and they all sell like ethnic Tibetan shawls and stuff like that.
Nice.
It's quite cool. There's also good food here. So like we had lunch yesterday. We had lunch at a place called the Tibetan Brothers, which had great food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had this thing, this soup
I had the
thing.
thantok, which is like
It's
a
a
chicken soup with bread. It's sort of like lasagna floating in chicken soup.
Yeah, I think so. It's, I don't know what it was. It was soup. It was nice and it was very fulfilling.
Yeah.
And in this weather, oh, the soup just does wonders.
Yeah, it does.
Before the Tibetan restaurant, we walked up to an old church on the mountain. It was very calm and peaceful with a really great view. And the walk there and back was also super nice.
It's great.
And I think, yeah, I mean, that was day one. We came back, we walked back, and then we had fun in the common room of the hostel.
Yeah, we played board games. We played card games, and we chit chatted. We got to socialize with some of the other guests.
Members, yeah.
It was quite fun.
Yeah, and
First
at
day was
night,
great
we tried to take pictures of stars.
and failed
It
spectacularly.
It was all right, I would say, given the situation that we were in, without tripods, without much infrastructure.
Oh yeah, I usually go on all trips with a lot of gear. I carry tripods and I carry everything. This time I actually made an effort, so I was like I will not bring any tripods, but in the end I did feel like I missed my tripod a lot.
How humble braggy of you.
That's not a humble brag. I mean, I'm allowed to have a tripod.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. So anyway, regardless of tripod or not, we tried to take pictures of stars. It was all right. The night is pretty chilly and it's nice because they've got these yellow lights going on. They've got the little benches so you can sit around and chat while the camera is just shooting something. Surprisingly, I have noticed a lack of birds, or rather a lack in variety of birds. And I'm not sure, I've seen maybe a crow, a pigeon or two, like doves.
A couple of kites, were they? Or were they falcons?
Oh yeah, no,
The one at the height today?
Oh, okay. So I was considering them not part of this. So
Okay.
those would be exceptions. Like whatever I've seen, I've noticed mynas, I have noticed doves, I've noticed red whiskered bulbuls.
I've noticed sparrows.
Yeah, there are sparrows, there are crows as well, but not much else. Like in a pretty densely forested place, and in general, you've got trees around. I was expecting to have different, insect eating birds and maybe a few nectar eating birds, I guess, hummingbirds or sunbirds and those types.
Or even like insect eating birds like woodpeckers or something. No?
Yeah, I mean, woodpeckers. In general, I was expecting more diversity in just the species around. And I haven't seen much. Though, luckily, the place we went today, Dolphin's Nose Point, that has shown some potential. Like, we saw a bunch of, I don't know, there were some birds of prey. They were circling up high. I don't have an idea what they are, but I will try to find out. And we did see a bunch of other birds, right? We saw a hoopoe.
Yeah. We also saw kingfisher.
We saw a kingfisher by the
A
lake.
blue kingfisher today. Yes.
Yeah, that was very nice because oof, a nice burst of color among
Oh
the
yeah, and also
weeds.
when we went boating, there were a lot of ducks. There was also like a family. There was like a big duck, and there were ducklings nearby. It was quite cool.
I am not sure if it was a duck, but it was a species
It was some waterfowl.
close enough to a duck.
Yeah.
It could be something else.
It could be something that could be easily mistaken to be a duck
Yes,
or an actual duck. But
And
it did duck underwater a few times.
it did.
So coming to today, we left a little earlier today. We went to a different place today for breakfast. Though this was like a little more like it was like Western continental kind of breakfast.
Yeah,
But-
it was recommended by a fellow Zostel guest, and he recommended it to us last night. So we were like, let's try it out. We went there, surprisingly decent place. I mean, it was all right.
The ambience is quite nice. It was to me it was a little underlit. It was a little too dark.
Okay.
So that sort of like I don't particularly like that ambience. Like it wasn't like dimly lit. It was just dim.
Yeah,
And
it
yeah.
kind of felt like they weren't open.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like they weren't expecting people to show up, but then there were other there were other
There were.
patrons there, so I don't know why, but they had a nice set of repurposed items outside with plants growing through them. Those were pretty
There was a
inventive.
typewriter, which was interesting.
That's pretty nice.
And there were like pots of coffee and other like condiment pots.
the,
Things of that
the
sort.
food was, I would say, it was all right. It was
Yeah, it was a
nothing-
little underwhelming.
I think, yeah, I could make a better scrambled egg.
Yeah.
I think anyone could make
Yeah,
a better
correct.
scrambled egg.
And the bacon was very chewy.
In any case, we had breakfast.
Yeah.
It was had.
Yeah, and then we started walking uphill. We found this place called Zeba's Hot Chocolate, and so we went there. We wanted to have coffee because like I really love coffee, and we wanted to have filter coffee. So the breakfast place did not have any filter coffee, so we decided we'll just go out and find it somewhere, like maybe some street vendor, like we'll have coffee. But so we found this really small little nook kind of a place which had coffee.
I
So-
would describe it as the coffee shop under the stairs.
Yeah. It did remind me of Harry Potter's
I think
living
it
quarters.
was actually under a set of stairs because there were staircases nearby. But anyway,
It was under a
It was,
staircase. Yes,
right.
yes.
so
Maybe they should they should repurpose it into a theme restaurant.
they might. But whatever's going on right now is extremely good because
Yeah, we went for coffee, and then the guy asked us. The guy asked us like if. Okay. Okay, the dog just went outside. Yeah, so we went for filter coffee, and then he was about to make it, but then he started recommending us. He started talking to us. He was like, okay, but like the filter coffee is cool and all, but like why don't you try the hot chocolate? Like, you might like it. And it was a little chilly in the morning, so we thought let's do it.
and I had been looking for hot chocolate since yesterday, because this place has a lot of chocolate vendors boasting homemade chocolate. So I've been thinking that if they've got chocolate, if they've got so much chocolate and they make it nearby or wherever, why don't they serve hot chocolate? And even the place we went to yesterday, the bakery, right?
Right.
And I was expecting them to have some sort of, like, they had coffee and tea, and I was expecting them to have some authentic nice hot chocolate.
Correct.
Finding out that this tea shop under the stairs has hot chocolate, I immediately ordered one, and everybody did.
Everybody did.
And the hot chocolate was delicious.
It was amazing. It was a little, just like a little bit too rich, but like I think you can still down it. Like
It was, for me, it
it
was
was
brilliant.
glorious. Yeah,
It was the best hot chocolate I have had in a long, long time.
I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, a few years at the very least.
So yeah, we had hot chocolate, which was good. We'll try to go there tomorrow. Also, we'll hit it up tomorrow again.
Yeah, I think I could do hot chocolate tomorrow. Well, I can't decide now because filter coffee also calls to me.
Correct.
But depending on how cold it is,
Yeah.
if it's very cold, I'll do a hot chocolate. If it's mild, I will still do a hot chocolate, but then we'll go for a coffee afterward because I think I want to have both.
Okay. I don't mind that, honestly. And I'm so we had coffee, we had hot chocolate, and then we went ahead. We went to where did we go?
Well, we decided during breakfast that we are gonna go visit this place called the Dolphin Nose. It's a rock outcrop, but people call it the Dolphin's Nose.
It's like a cliff. It's shaped like a dolphin's nose.
Apparently.
Yeah, we'll put
I
a
don't know
picture.
how.
It seems like it's like if you put a GoPro on the head of a dolphin. Like that's the kind of picture you'd get. It's exactly like that. It's like the nose snoot kind of a dolphin. It is ambitiously named, I will say.
It very mostly is because I could not for the life of me imagine a dolphin from any angle.
I think it was just meant to be. Like, it's just a thingy.
They had to
What
name
what
it
else did you
something.
call it? Yeah.
Whatever.
Correct.
But it's a nice place. It's a nice little walk. I mean, even the drive on the way was pretty nice through the forest.
That road wasn't very good.
Yeah, there were a few bumps, but overall the jungle was pretty decent. And
And
then
the walk from the from Vattakanal, Vattakanal is the name of the sort of village there, and from there we had to walk a trail
down to the
down to the
Point.
dolphin's nose. So that trail was also quite nice,
I
downhill at least.
I like the trail through and through. I mean, I love the roots growing out into the path.
It was almost like the roots were shaped into steps, which is quite cool.
It was a decent walk, and after a while when we get to the eucalyptus forest, right, and it suddenly blows up, like you're walking along this narrow path with shrubs on both sides, and then you go into the eucalyptus and it just blows literally like for meters up. It was amazing.
And I've been saying all day yesterday that I want to go into the forest because it'll make for very nice pictures and it'll just be like a very beautiful sight to witness. So it was great that we actually could do that today.
Did you get any good B-roll there?
Oh yeah, I did. I got a lot of B-roll. I got a lot of A-roll.
Did you get the sound through did you get the breeze through the trees?
I might have small clips. I might have like 6-second long clips.
I just realized Simran's mic was in my bag.
Correct.
She could have used that.
That's not very useful for that though.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know how mics work, but okay.
Okay. Anyway, so we went through that forest, which was very, very picturesque. It was like just straight out of some dream or some films that you might have seen.
Or some
up in the
beautiful
hills.
animated movies.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that some other episode. We might have already done that before this, so who knows. Anyway, so we went through the forest, and then there was we found that the Dolphin's Hill, the Dolphin's Nose, and
We found the nose.
yeah, it was okay. The view from there was decent. There is a certain amount of haze, I'd say. I honestly don't know what to do about haze. Like when you're taking like landscapes in hills,
I don't know.
how do people
because
get those pictures of?
I think part of the haze is just basically the air quality, which is just overall terrible, because the plains are pretty heavily populated, and even like where we are isn't that remote. So in general, I think there's a lot of smoke and just generic pollution. I mean, I don't think an alternative to that would be anything else.
Coming from a photography and videography standpoint, I think that there are filters that help you get some of it out.
I think you could do some, I guess, glitching on it. You could mess around with the settings, and you can probably do something post processing to maybe
in
make
post
it
I
look
think
clear.
we can do, but I don't think it's very true to the vision. I'm just saying that we can, there are some filters that you can put in front of the camera,
Yeah, I mean, like,
and you get very clear.
Part of it could be like, if you're, is it that if you polarize the light, you would get a clearer picture?
Could be.
I mean,
Could be.
because the sun being up there, maybe that's
Maybe a
washing it out.
polarizer filter could have helped, because I did notice from my sunglasses, which are polarized, it was much clearer.
It does seem like a better image. I don't know whether you can actually see further if it's polarized, because I guess the dispersion, the scattering is just happening throughout.
Correct.
So I think also, since we're at a height, there might be just a little bit of clouds that add into the haze.
Correct.
In general, like, right,
But the haze does sort of like give it that extra sense of surreal sort of dreaminess, which is quite cool.
It's got a nice vibe, but in my opinion, I don't really like the haze,
Same.
because I mean, it's a little too much. A little less amount, I think, would be better.
Yeah. But these mountains, like in the distance, they did remind me of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the iconic
Same.
pictures of Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah.
So again, like all picturesque places that we have described, we'll try to put as many pictures as possible.
I will try to find some pictures if I have them, because I think I've been to the Smoky Mountains, and
Okay.
I'll try to look up.
We'll try to compare.
Yeah, let's do that. Like, I have to go through some ancient hard drives to figure out if I still have any photos. But
Okay.
I think we could do a comparable.
Okay. So yeah, it was quite beautiful. It was quite nice. And then we walked, and from there further, we went a few minutes further, and we found another rock,
There
which
was a
is
trail leading on. So, and the hand painted board said Echo Point. And so we just decided to explore it.
we didn't shout. We didn't try shouting though. We could have got an echo. Maybe that's a place, because there are so many. The cliff face is right up in our
Probably,
face.
probably.
You'll probably get a very good echo from there.
But I'm glad, because it just seems too gimmicky for me to
and like
go.
yodeling in the mountains is not a thing we would want
Unless
to do.
you're in the Alps.
Yeah, correct.
Running from Nazis. With
Okay.
Julie Andrews with you.
Okay, I think you've mixed in far too many references together.
Anywho, I don't know if they get an echo or not. I hope they do. Coming back to the Echo Point, it was not much, actually. There was a trail leading down off the mountain. So I guess maybe the locals use it. Maybe there's a village down at the bottom and they do travel. But the Echo Point I think the best part of it for me was the birds, because we got to see those birds of prey, unidentified as of yet. But I think that really capped it off for me, because I had been lacking this, I don't know, I have this hole in my heart.
For birds?
Well, I've been missing it. It's like it's incomplete. You're in the mountains. I think I'm comparing it to Himalayas, because when we went to Harkidun, or when
Yeah,
we
there
went,
were a lot of birds
when I went to Nainital, like anywhere I go, it's just like when you're in the hills and when you've got giant trees around you, there are tons of birds. So I think that would explain my. So I was very happy that I got to see a bunch of birds. And yeah, I think we came back in decent time as well.
Yeah, we made good time.
We got back by lunch. We had lunch, and then we went again to the lake, which is where we saw the kingfishers and the I think there was a moorhen, maybe. Let me not digress into the birds.
Yeah, again. So we rented out bicycles, and the two of us went around the periphery of the lake, and that was a it was a nice ride because it's for the first thing it's flat, so you don't have to climb uphill or downhill. So it's just constant pedaling and constant motion.
I have to emphasize how amazing it is to have flat land in
Correct.
Kodaikanal. Mm. That was a
Oh, yeah.
blessing. Like we were on cycles and having just the tiniest amount of gradient at that point would have destroyed our stamina.
True, true, true.
And that's where the battery ran out on the sound recorder. So I will do my best to fill in the rest of the trip, okay? The highlights at the least. We bicycled around the lake, which has mountains on all sides. There's also a big park on one side called Bryant Park, and that was also quite cool. The lake itself is very pretty, and there was even a wooden cabin on one side inside the lake border, which was also like just really picturesque. It almost looked like it was just waiting for a horror film to take place over there. Then we walked back to the hostel and we picked up some sandwiches on the way for our dinner. We recorded the podcast that you heard so far, and then when it started to get a little dark, we sat around on the benches just chatting about the day. I also went on a hammock swing, which was very cool, but also a little scary because it wouldn't slow down even after a really long time. I don't know what magic it had, but it just kept going on and on and on for like a really long time. And anyway, we ended the day with dinner on the benches under the stars. It was really pretty, really cool, and it was very nice. The next day, we had breakfast in this hostel itself, and Mihir and I decided to go and get some hot chocolate again at Zeba's. I also wanted to get some shopping done. I mainly wanted the handmade chocolates that come from the region and some filter coffee, of course. I also got a small amount of eucalyptus oil since the region is famous for its eucalyptus. The mountain range in the area is literally called the Nilgiris, which means eucalyptus. So the place was also close to Ooty, which is famous for its tea. So I got some tea as well. We also roamed a bit through the other parts of the city with really incredible views, and there was this place called Coker's Walk, Coaker, which is basically like a long walkway overlooking the valley, and it was really, really, really beautiful. There was a very small ticket price, something like 5 rupees or something, but I had to pay around 50 rupees for the permission to use a camera. I tried some local fruits there as well. I think there was a wild kind of tomato, which was quite interesting because it felt like a combination of tomatoes and mangoes and oranges. It had a very complex taste. And they put some spices on it, so it tasted even better. We finished our shopping, had some lunch, and came back to the hostel. We played some card games, Uno and Monopoly Deal, which was a lot of fun. And by this point, the experience was quite complete, but we hadn't realized that there was something more uh, to do, which was that there was a bonfire that was made, and almost all of the guests at the hostel just came out, and we had a really nice time. Mihir wasn't there for very long. He went to sleep in early, I think, or he was chatting with a roommate of ours. But I was out on like by the bonfire almost the entire night. We sang songs. First, it was just my friend Chris who was playing the guitar, and we were like singing and like playing around for a long time. And then this other guy came up and he started singing, and then we found out that he's a very famous singer, songwriter, actor from Bangalore, which was very cool. His name is Renosh George, and he also taught us some of his songs that are really, really popular on the internet. I will put some links there as well. So it was an incredible bonfire just night. It was an incredible night, and I stayed up almost the entire night. I slept very, very late. I think like around 3 or 4 early in the morning. It was a really, really nice time. So the next morning, which is our last day in Kodaikanal, we had breakfast at the South Indian restaurant from the first day. It was called Astoria Veg.
I also got a local Tamil language newspaper as a souvenir, though I don't understand the language. And we also got some food packed for our lunch, and we got a cab and left for the railway station. We had a lot of time there at the railway station because the train was supposed to arrive a little late, and we had gotten there quite early. But I learned the Tamil language script from reading the signs there, which were in different languages. So just the Kodaikanal Road sign was written in English, in Hindi, and in Tamil. And it was quite interesting just trying to decipher how all of the symbols were written, how all of the letters were written. And just from some Googling around and from reading the newspaper and from just the other signs of the shops and things in the area, I tried learning the script, which was quite interesting because I by the end by the point that our train arrived, I was quite proficient with reading Tamil. Even though I did not understand the words, I could read them out. So at least it sounded like Tamil, which is quite interesting. I also learned some important words like main words like Malai, which means mountain or hill, and some other stuff also. I can't remember them right now because this is over a year ago, but that was quite fun. And yeah, so I got to know how to read the script and its structure, which was very cool. And I was trying to tell all of my friends about how the grammar worked and how the letters worked and how everything was supposed to write. And I was practicing, and nobody else was very interested. So, yeah, story of my life. But then when the train came, we got on it, and it was just a nice, unique experience. And since we had recorded a fair amount, it's our first of hopefully many podcasts from fun places. I also experimented with a stylized video in Kodaikanal. It was supposed to mimic an 8 millimeter Super 8 film camera. You will see the thumbnail on the screen right now, and the link is in the description too. I hope you like this episode out of time. For now, stay home, wash your hands, and plan your trips for the future. A small shout out to myself, I guess. I have another podcast on my other channel where I cook stuff while talking about it. Yeah, it's a cooking show with just audio, no beautiful visuals, but it's fun. So check that out too, and thank you for listening. Bye bye.